Hello. It is Deborah Henderson Scott of Never Accepting Negativity and um, Unlimited Opportunities Promotional and Marketing Solutions. This is our episode of Radical Resilience, the Nan Edition. And yes, I did say the Nan Edition because we're changing things up a little bit. For the last 4 weeks, um, we've been talking about, and I don't know why this is not going live right now, but it needs to. Hold on 1 second. 1 second while I get this correct. It's supposed to be going live and it's not. I don't know what's happening here. Anywho, we were supposed to be going live talking about why is this not going live? Sorry for a second, one moment. Anywho, we were talking about for the last 4 weeks, we've been talking about uh the holiday blues, seasonal blues, right? And just like it affects parents, we first week we talked about how it affects you emotionally as a person. Then we went on second week we talked about the dating life. This week I'm going to talk about the side effects of that it has with your children. This is why I'm calling it the youth edition, right? Because believe it or not, kids get stressed out too for the holidays, and kids get stressed out a lot. And a lot of times us parents think, oh, that's just a moody teenager, or they're doing this, or something is happening here. But yeah, kids get stressed out, and as parents we need to recognize the signs and try to help our children through that. So I'm gonna spend about 30 minutes or so, I'm not going to be with you long, just talking about signs to look for or ways that you can tell if your child is stressed out, because again, kids get stressed out too. And as parents, we should be able to address their needs while dealing with our own stuff, right? And a lot of times that's hard. We don't realize that just as we have mental in breakdowns, so do our children. So I wanted to take a moment just to talk about some factors on how do you raise resilient children? How do you help your kids through this overwhelming feeling of stressed out, or and even if your kid knows the difference between stress and anxiety, that that right there is in a nutshell a lot, because sometimes we may think that we are just so stressed out, um, and things are happening, and we don't really know the difference between stress and anxiety. So there's some factors that I want to share with you all on both aspects of it all. For instance, when you talk about stress for your kids, right? It's an overwhelming feeling. We all know that. And some of the facts that we need to deal with or coping with stress versus anxiety, or them both together, is being able to identify what type of trauma is happening in your child's life so that you could help them deal with the emotions that they experience. And by all means, if you don't know how to help your kids for them and they're feeling overwhelmed, there's immediate lifeline for suicide crisis, because again, that happens through this time of year. And that hotline number is eight, I'm sorry, 988. That is the suicide crisis hotline number. You can text it, you can call it, and you can even go to chat with them online by not by chat by just doing chat by 988lifeline.org. So if any of your children are experiencing any type of emotional issue, no matter what time of the year it is, just know that there's resources out there for you. Um, I'm also available. You can hit us up at NAN resourcectr.org. Give us a call. Hit us up. Do a private chat with us. We do take medical insurance now, so you could use we got our MPI numbers, we take medical insurance, and then if that's not even the case, we still offer free service and pop-up sessions. So we are here for your kid. And guess what, people, I forgot to tell y'all this. We have embarked 3 years of service come November. And man, it's been a whirlwind, completely funded by the sales of my books. Let me tell you where they are. Here they are, right here. Completely funded by the kind donations of those in our community, business leaders, and this gem right here. 4 Good Days, available on Amazon. And he's not lost. These are the grief resource tools that we have available, and they're actually totally responsible for the aid in the curriculum and the help that we do, because everything we do is donated and all the proceeds from those books go back to the organization. And I'm also excited because come January, we're launching 2 more books. One is about building resilient children. It's a step-by-step parent caregiver guide. I'm sure you guys are going to find it because I am dropping so many gems on here. So back to the subject, back to the subject at hand. And I am rambling a lot because I got a lot to tell you. And for those of you who are looking to donate or get involved with us, please visit our site. Again, it's nanresourcectr.org. We are always looking for mentors. We are always looking for volunteers. And you can make a contribution. You can subscribe, donate to our cause, donate to the curriculum. We've partnered with national organizations. That's right, like National Health and Wealth minority organizations to help build a new curriculum for 2024. I'm so excited about that. We got an oratorical coming up towards the end of the year where we're helping the older kids get grant money and scholarship money through this oracle contest. It's actually statewide for Pennsylvania. Actually, it's actually United States wide, so it's available for all students in the United States. And I'll be dropping some of that link information very, very shortly. So, so knowing the difference between stress versus anxiety for your kids. So, here are some of the characteristics of stress. Generally, it's a response to an external cause, such as taking a test or something like that, or you had a big argument with a friend. That can trigger stress for your kid, right? And it also goes to you go out of your way to resolve the situation, something that's going wrong in your life, and you just want to go over, you overthinking about it. That's a sign of stress for kids, right? Or it can be positive or negative. For example, it may be you got an important deadline, and you just keep thinking about that deadline over and over and over again, or you got an important meet or a basketball game that's like a championship, or maybe it's for the older kids that they got to write essays now for college admissions, and you want to get into your top school, and the pressures of mom and dad and all that jazz. Those are things that may cause you to use street sleep. That's an example of stress for your kid, right? An example of anxiety would be generally, it's a generally internal, meaning it makes you have a reaction. It makes your body have a reaction to the stress. So it's usually about a persistent feeling, or somewhat, some people may call them a panic attack, or feelings of apprehension, or dreading something just dreading. You're dreading it and you can't shake it, and you're just all emotional about it. And it's a consistent feeling that's immediate threat to your emotional state at that moment. That's an example of an anxiety. The way they affect your body is they both cause extreme worry, they both cause unease, they both cause tension, they both cause headaches and body aches, they raise your blood pressure, you can lose sleep and weight. So how do you help your kids deal with that, right? That's the question. So to manage those type of stress, you got to have real expectations for yourself, and you have to sometimes just sit there and get outside yourself, meditate. There's a great way of coping with stress is simply meditating. Find a quiet moment when you feel triggered, when you feel stressed, when you feel overwhelmed, and sit in your silence to just feel the eternal feeling and figure it out itself, like, because it'll come eventually when you sit there and say, you know what, this too shall pass. And what makes me, what I do when I'm stressed, and what we talk about here in this book, we talk about journaling. We teach kids how to journal using this book right here, because journaling is a way to remind yourself that, yep, there's going to be some good days. Yep, there's going to be some bad days. But I made it through. And when you read back the journal or look back over your life, you can see the times where you felt like the world is ending or the ceiling has dropped, but you made it through the next day. That's a reminder that you can get through it. So some people feel like just getting it off your chest by writing it down in the paper. I used to when I was in corporate, I used to get so angry sometimes, bosses can pick your triggers and just get on your nerves. I used to just go in the car, right? Look in the mirror and scream everything I wanted to say to that person in the mirror and let it go. And I also used to write it down and then burn it and forget about it. Because once I got it off of me, I was good. So journaling is a way to help you resolve or cope with the stress and anxiety that you have in your life. Another great suggestion is to move something. My bishop always says, somebody getting on your nerve, move it. Just like that. If it's on your nerve, shift. Because moving that nerve or changing your mindset or putting body to your body in motion, not only is it a way to just transform yourself out of that situation, but it gets your endorphins moving. So do some exercise. If somebody's getting on your nerve or you're overwhelmed or you're stressed, run it out, sweat it out, box it out, kickbox it, punch something, not the person, punch something. Those type of things are coping mechanisms to help you relieve. Some people used to say, I'm an emotional eater, right? I stress out, I eat all kinds of stuff. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not, it's not always the best thing. But if you're going to, make sure you eat something healthy regularly so that you don't become an emotional eater, right? Keep a regular routine regardless of what's going on in your life. Because it's that thinking that we talk about all the time that make you not want to get up out of bed, make you not want to get up out of bed or take a shower or brush your teeth or comb your hair. Those things are stuck in your own mind. So when we say you're stressed out or and things like that, we want you to deal with you because you're the only one who can solve it. It's your perspective, and I'm using my getting tongue tied here, but it's your perspective of life that got you feeling that way, that got you in your emotions. And we all say, I'm all in my meeting, my emotions or my feelings. Yeah, that's true. And guess who's going to get you out of it? You and your child. So if your child is experiencing, help them, guide them through these emotional steps, guide them through making sure they stick to a regular sleep routine, making sure they get enough sleep, making sure they avoid drinking caffeine or soft drinks or anything like that, because that can just intensify it. So I identify the negative things in their life, right? And add some helpful thoughts to it for your kid, right? Reach out to a trusted family member or a friend, that's someone you can talk to, someone who's going to pour into some positive uh, ways in your life. Ride a bike, walk in nature. Those are things that you could do to help your kid deal with stress. One of the ways we do it here at Never Accepting Negativity is we do outside of about creativity moments. So we have this thing called Paint Your Journey, and we have the kids put on blindfold. We'll give them a word, and we ask them to paint that word blindfolded on a canvas. And once they're done with that, right? they'll look at the picture, the word, or whatever they may have, and they'll do a blindfolded drawing to just draw from their emotion. And what it does, it lets the kid know, I don't have to be perfect. And 9 times out of 10, what they draw from their mind, blind, is beautiful. They have to look at it a certain way. They got to change their perspective. They got to look through new lenses, so to speak, to find that inner beauty. But the exercise is so beautiful, and watching these kids find those coping skills is amazing. Another thing we do is we do this thing where we have them build um, a sundae, and we give them flat. Each flavor has a different emotion put in it. So as you build your sundae with your emotions, and at the end of it, once they build their sundaes with whatever anger, fear, whatever they put in there to say this is how they're currently feeling. Once they go taste it, and then they're like, oh my God, these all these things make up me, and I'm still good. So it's a beautiful exercise that help kids say, no matter what you're feeling, no matter what you're going through, you're still good. Another thing we do is we let them look through a kaleidoscope, right? Sometimes those things are, and we actually help them build one. The kaleidoscopes could be so ugly on the outside, but when you look inside, it's beautiful. So we teach kids lessons like that, that's not traditional therapy, but therapy so that they're still getting a message from everything we teach, and letting them know that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect, but you're perfect for you. You're unique in your own way, and helping them identify their strengths, their weakness, and owning it and working through it, and talking about the things that's troubling them is how we help your children work through the emotional traumas that they're experiencing. So yeah, this time of year can be very, 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 very stressful for families in general. There's always a not enough money at the end of the month, or vice versa. There's, especially with younger kids, those TV commercials with all types of I want this, I want that, I want this, and it might not be the best financial time in your life. So it becomes overwhelming for parents trying to say no or set boundaries. But that's where clear conversation comes in. Making sure that you set realistic expectations for your kids during the holiday. Making sure that, if someone's missing from the table for the first time, that you have conversations about that loss, about that honor, and do something traditional to honor their memory. When the first year that we lost our my dad went to heaven, it was very hard. And last year my biological father went to heaven. And what triggered me this year was football season. Both my dads were huge Steelers fan, and it's kind of weird for me being excited about the Steelers in the midst of a Eagles household when I don't have nobody to call and say, yo, Pop, did you see that game? So watching the Steelers this year, even though they're kind of sucking, it's been a bit emotional because my connections to the Steelers are in heaven. So what I do is I still honor my pops by wearing my Steelers jackets. I have my Steeler pillow. I have my slippers. I have my pajamas. I'm like Steelers out. I'm trying to convert my grandkids to be Steelers fans. It's just not working. My son and my husband got that on lock with those darn Eagles. But I honor them every holiday. And then this last year, for the first time, I actually had my own separate Christmas tree, just geared out and still decked out in Steelers, because I was honoring the loss and remembering my father's during that time of year, because it was the very first time that I had lost both of them, and I didn't have neither one of them. So yeah, it's tough. Having someone missing from the table is tough. Having some, missing grandma's sweet potato pie, or my mom's big mama's cornbread pudding, or banana pie, or whatever grandma made. You can try to duplicate it, and you can find somebody who makes it good, is but not just good. Just to honor the memory. And if anything, try to recreate those moments in your mind. Savor your loved ones as they live, and light a candle for that absent one, sing their favorite song, you know, and no one's going to say it's going to get easier, because eventually it don't hurt as bad, and the memory makes you smile, and no one wants to hear that during the time of loss. So that's the worst thing you can ever say to somebody. It's like, you still over that? You're not over that? Don't say that, people. That's so rude. Don't tell nobody when they should be over the loss of somebody. Don't tell nobody how long they can grieve, because grief is personal, right? Grief is personal. You can't tell nobody when to die. You can't tell nobody when to let go. You can't tell nobody how to feel about it. Let folks live their life the way they need to. Let them grieve how they need to grieve. Don't rush it. They'll get there on their time. It's not your journal. It's not your journey. Grief is a personal journey. And there's room and there's how out there for those who want to take that journey with you. Again, if you need me, I'm available. I'm Deborah Henderson Scott. I go by Debbie Ann, of Never Accepting Negativity. You can reach out to me through the website. You can reach out to me through my personal business, Unlimited Opportunities, Personal Marketing and Solutions. Mamas, if you need other assistance and you just want to, build resilience for yourself, you can reach out to my cousin, Dr. Ange, by joining her community at angiekearns.com. Listen, we have resources out here for you. And then cuz will be here again next week. We are talking about, I forget the topic. What did we talk about? We're going to dive into her new book, Ripping Off the Bandages. So, to heal, because we want you to heal for real, right? We all out here walking with this mask on. It's time to unmask the pain and deal with it. Deal with you. Deal with you, sis. So, mamas, join Angie Kearns' community. And if you need resources for your children, join Never Accepting Negativities. We are always looking for volunteers to help with the kids. Our pop-up events be the bomb. Currently, we are operating in Pennsylvania, but God willing, we will have a mobile unit soon. So we will be traveling to a resource near you. All you got to do is tell us what you need and we will be there. Trust me, we will be there. So again, I'm Deborah Henderson Scott. This is the time of year where folks and children are grieving too. We want you to get to the journey of renewal, right? This is the whole reason for the podcast, to make sure that you get to your newness. We want you to live your life. We want you to live a prosperous life on purpose. So, family, children, young people, mamas, daddies, papas, listen, we got you. Oh, no, one more thing. Again, our birthday is November 12th. Not only is it my 51st birthday, November 12th, but it's Never Accepting Negativity's third birthday. And in honor of my birthday, if y'all could go on my website, Nan Resource Center, TTOR, and donate $55 to help fund next year curriculum, I would be greatly appreciated. Or if not, just go buy $55 worth of the books on Amazon, because every dollar you spend, other than the ones that Amazon take, go back into the program. I don't take none of this from me. I don't do this for me. I do it because God's mandated me. And in the midst of everything that I got going on in my personal life, I'm still going to show up for you and your kids. I'm going to make sure that you live your best life on purpose. You live the life that God designed for you, and the life that you desire to have. That's what cuz and I are aiming to do for the females. That's what I aim to do for the kids. If you know me all my life, you've known that I've been an avid youth advocate, and hurting people hurt people. I'm here to stop the hurt. Join us next week. Cuz and I will be back same time, 6:30, same channel, live on all social medias. I believe because it's also live on her website, but we're live on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and then this will stream back on Never Accepting Negativity as a blog. So I look forward to serving you guys with purpose, and you have a prosperous day on purpose.